Hey y'all, hey, it's your girl Safe Bay. So I want to tell y'all how God told me not to take vengeance on the other woman. So many of you who are new to my page and you're following my story, I just recently went through a divorce. I was in a 2-year counterfeit marriage where I dealt with a narcissist. I dealt with every spirit there is to name in the book: Jezebel, Python, lust, perversion, spirit spouse, Leviathan, all the above. And I'm just telling my story to reach women that want to get out of this and they don't know what to do concerning this. So I'm just telling my story, okay? So this is the last woman I had to deal with before I got divorced. I was in a position to take vengeance, but God told me not to move, that he would handle it. So this woman actually reached out to my best friend when me and my spouse were kind of at odds with each other. He had asked me that Monday to take our son out of town. And mind you, our son was under 1 at the time. He wasn't used to being with his dad long at all, or not even sleep overnight or for days or anything like that. So he had asked me to take our son out of town, and I just didn't feel right about it. So I was like, I'll let you know. Okay, that was my response. And then as it got closer, God kept dealing with me. I was like, it's something that he's not telling me, something that he's not telling me. Mind you, we're still married at the time, okay? And he's very much back and forth in and out the house still, okay? So that the day comes and he asks me again that weekend. And I'm like, he never presses me to see our son. Like, that's something he just doesn't do, okay? So I was like, no, he can't go. So when I told him no, I didn't get a response. Okay, and then I ended up blocking him because at that point I was tired of playing, going back and forth. You're not telling me the real reason you want to take our son. You're not telling me where y'all going, what y'all doing, nothing. Like, no information, just, hey, let me just take him out of state. Okay, so I decide I block him. So I'm on the phone with my friend, and me and her going back and forth. So I'm going back and forth with my friend, and she's like, why don't you just let him take him? And I was like, no, you already know how I am when it comes to my children. He's under 1. I don't know where he's going, this and that. So my friend receives a message from the other woman, okay? She forwarded from my husband's phone to my best friend's phone. And the message was pretty much stating that my husband has a right to see our son, and that I'm in the wrong, and that she's a child and family lawyer, and that I can't keep my son from him, and he has a right to take the child out of state, and I don't need to know where they're going or what they're doing. This is how she introduces herself. And she says, I'm gonna stand on business behind my future husband and his children. And at the time, she's talking up to me about my husband, okay? She's saying she's standing on business behind my husband, which is her future husband. And then she goes on to, give idle threats. And then she states, we'll go head on and see you in court. We're going to serve you for custody for your 1-year-old you have and the baby that you have in your stomach. And he already told me why you decided to not let him come with us. Number one, he never told me that about this woman. So shortly after she sends the message to my best friend, he sends a message to my best friend and says that, just talks about me, okay? So when I found out that I get this message from this through her, I'm thinking it's from him, but I didn't know at the time, okay? So then he inboxes me on Instagram and he says, hey, I just wanted you to know that I finally found my future wife that God has ordained for me, and she knows about the baby and she's okay with the baby, and she accepts the child, and she's gonna help me take care of my kids. And he started to gaslight me in the message. He was like, she's such an amazing person, she's done so much for me. So I read right through that. That means that I'm spending her money, she got money, and she can do more for me because I have depleted you of everything. I have ran you financially into the ground, this and that. Anybody that deal with a narcissist knows they take, they don't give, and they will drive you into financial difficulty. They will run you into bankruptcy, like myself. They will make your credit bad. They will do everything to take. So he's telling me this, and I'm reading this. My heart is dropping. I can't breathe. I go into an anxiety attack because I'm like, God, what is happening? This is my husband telling me that he finally found his kingdom wife. And I'm so I'm such in a place to where I'm being emotionally manipulated by the devil in my mind, to where I actually start to believe that maybe this is his kingdom wife. Maybe this is God. Maybe I'm in the way, okay? So I reached out to my mentor, and he was like, this is delusion. He was like, he's in heavy delusion. She's in heavy delusion. Because not only that, in that message that she sent to my best friend and to me, to my best friend too, for me to read, she also stated that she knew God and God blessed her so much. And I didn't understand, how is God blessing you and you're talking and messing with my husband? Because separated and married is still married. Going through a divorce and married is still married. And he was very much well at my house for a whole week before y'all so say got together. So he goes to tell me in the message that she's met our children. So while you're staying in the house with us, you were going meet another woman, and she was meeting my son without me knowing. I just don't roll like that. So when I found out she was a child and family lawyer, I said, you know what? I was talking to my friends. They was like, go to the state bar. I said, yeah, I should go to the state bar because you're harassing me about my husband and you're representing him. So that's some type of legality that can't even come. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I just should call the state board. I kept hearing God say, let me handle it. Let me handle it. Let me handle it. I go to my Facebook, y'all, and she has inboxed me on Facebook to make sure that I see all the messages that she sent to my best friend. Okay? I don't respond. I don't even you know how do the message request? I don't even do it. But God showed me that he had manipulated her as well, and that she came onto me so strong, like she already had a hate towards me. She had a very controlling, manipulative spirit. She had hated me, disliked me, didn't know what I was going through, didn't know that he was living with me still, didn't know the whole situation. She just knew based off of what he told her. And a lot of women fall for married men and their sob stories about their wife this, their wife that, but all in all, the end of the day, they're still with their wives. They're still living with their wives, still being husbands, you know? So I had grace for her in that moment, and I knew that was God, because old Tremaine would have went to jail. Old me would have found out where she was, and I probably would have asked her to show her hands. And I'm just being transparent with you guys, because that's how I used to be. Okay, but I knew that I had everything to lose. One thing she was very strategic about, she knew that I had everything to lose with my career, and she know that she had everything to lose with her career, but she slipped up. And I really wanted to call the state board, but God said, I'm gonna handle it, because I'm gonna use even this. So that's how God put me in a place to give me peace, to not get revenge. Now, mind you, I was everywhere. Okay, mentally, I was everywhere. I couldn't understand it. I couldn't believe it. This woman knew who I was. She knew where I worked. It was so much danger in that. She knew who I was. She knew where I worked. She knew what I drove. She knew everything about me. She knew my social media platforms. I knew nothing about this woman. Nothing at all. And this is the very same woman from when I tell the story about how I divorced without signing, that he was posting on social media and that people were calling me about. And I just couldn't understand, if she really knew God, if you really knew God, why would you be okay with that? Why wouldn't you just wait until the divorce was final and then y'all do what y'all can do so y'all can be blessed? But God defended me, because she ended up putting him out. One thing God allowed women to do, God would allow women to do my husband at the time how he would do me. He would allow them to abandon him, reject him, use him for what they needed, and then go on about their business and just completely cut him off like nothing happened. So don't take revenge. I always say that, don't clap back, God claps back. Now, I didn't get to see the clap back or whatever vengeance God had for her, but I do know that God don't play about me, because I'm seeing it real time. My friend was on the phone with me. She was like, literally every man that you ever dated that did you wrong is going through it, except one of your kids' fathers, and that's my oldest son's father. And he was like, I already know. He actually pointed out the curse that was on my bloodline. He was like, every time you have a baby, the relationships ends. You need to look into that, because something's not right. So God even used him in a moment to let me know that it's some things on my bloodline I needed to pray against. But he also was like, I don't play with you. You know, I do right by y'all, my kids' mothers. I don't do that, because I already see how God feel about you. So I'll see you guys in the next video.